What's up, and welcome back to Cancel Weekly. The gang's back together. Can you feel it? I'm Mickey Gall, joined as always by Candice Horbatch, and as always by Gerard motherfucking Michaels. Today on Cancel Weekly, we got two broads talking. We got what if women ran the world? We got Michael Jordan on the importance of ego. We've got a Tucker Carlson clip. And we got a guy being an imposter. All this and more on Cancel Weekly.
Remember, you have to make $246,000 in 2024 to afford the same lifestyle as your parents who made $80,000 in 1990. Until we meet again!
So a couple things that I love about this clip. First of all, I love that all of my most important news comes in the form of memes in 2024. Like everything important or like something that sparks some intellectual curiosity all comes in the form of memes. All of it. And that's like where I start going down. I see something like that and immediately I think, no way, can't be true. I research it and it's true. And it blows my mind. So Skeletor, who I will admit kind of scared me as a child watching He-Man, is still scaring me as an adult, showing the inflationary world that we are living in. To make the same ends meet our parents made in 1990, which is like pretty much the year you were born, I think. 92. Probably you guys, yeah. I was 5 years old, and my dad probably didn't make 80 grand. And to think to have the life that we had growing up, which was a very modest lower middle class suburban upbringing, I'd have to make 250 grand today, which I don't make. So kind of come off feeling like a failure here, man, to be honest. It's like rough. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are.
That makes everything make so much sense because I'm like, I don't understand where all of our money goes. I don't understand it. None of it has made sense for a really long time. And then you have the media gaslighting you and telling you that the economy is booming and there's all of these jobs and the prices of this, that, and the other are dropping. But you're like, I don't feel that. And I feel like if I order anything out now, it's like painful because I'm getting like usually 4 meals now. So even if I did Chipotle the other day and it was just shy of $70. And then I started my Twitch stream again. And, like, my oldest was just not having it. He kept coming out trying to make, like, his camera debut. So I'm ushering him back to his room. So I didn't get to cook. So I was like,
man is a star.
He's trying to be so hard. I was like, not until you're older.
So the economy's so bad, Candice has to fit in.
She's like, Mama's got to get on Twitch.
She has to fit in free promos for her Twitch stream. By the way, I'm on Twitch again. Anyway, so yeah.
No, so I had to end up ordering food. And I ordered a steak salad and soup. And then that ended up being like $60. And it came and it was just like 2 pieces of tomato.
Oh my God, wait. You actually meant cook, like for your family? I'm getting Gen Z brain. I thought you meant like your son kept interrupting your flow so you couldn't get cooking on your Twitch stream. Like, yeah, Mama couldn't cook. Too. I just got rid of this.
like actual.
Yeah, I thought she was gaming.
Let me cook.
No, actual cooking, and he kept coming out. So I ordered, and if you saw the food, you're like, how is this $70?
I have brain rot, absolutely. And to your point, I took a girl out on a date, an actual real human being girl out on a date to a movie. Went to see Deadpool. She wanted to see it. A real girl. Always had been, apparently. What do you think it cost for 2 adults to go out to a movie?
Did you get snacks?
We got, I'll tell you exactly, we got a large popcorn split
Did
between the
he
two
get
of us.
snacks?
We got a large popcorn split between the two of us. We each got 1 candy and we each got 1 soda.
Big soda? Refillable soda?
Not the giant soda. Yeah, the refillable soda.
Refillable soda. Okay.
Refillable soda, and it was in 3D. So what did it cost? What did it cost?
For 2 people?
2 people.
$5,000.
Not far off.
$89.
Dude, wow. It was $95.
Woo!
It was $95, and I'm sitting here thinking like, you know, she wanted to go see a movie, so I was like, nice, a cheap date for once. And then I'm sitting here like just beads of sweat going down. Like, what? I'm not paying for this. Like, let's just go back and watch Netflix. Like, this is a year of Netflix. What am I doing
Every
here?
time I go to the movies, like, I never like want snacks. I'm good with my little nicotine pouches. But then Kim will always get like the popcorn, and I find myself fist fucking my face with popcorn. Like I literally take a handful and I'm like, like I have to have my mouth completely full of popcorn. I get up, it's all over me. It's like a problem.
You ever spend money and then
I literally go take this away from me, get it away from me, or I'll continue to attack it.
But you ever like spend money and then like start counting the kernels of corn, and like as she's eating the corn, she's being a little messy with her grip, and like 3 or 4 are falling on the ground. And
Baby, that's $4 on the ground.
I would hate eating popcorn with you. It would give me so much anxiety because then I feel like I would try to be keeping up and it would just be impossible.
Well, it's like a never-ending bucket.
Like,
The
if I
things are
don't
so
get in
big.
there,
Yeah,
I'm not going to have any.
But that's the thing is I pack my mouth so full that I'm good for like, almost a minute.
Maybe that explains the haphazard nature of which she was grabbing at this popcorn, because she thought, if I don't get it now, I ain't getting none of it.
None of it.
She's like, and I'm seeing these kernels hit the ground. Each of them hit the ground. I'm like, oh, like, like I can feel it. It's
You're
crazy.
like everybody hates Terry Crews and everybody hates Chris. He's like, that's 14 cents on the ground. Like he knows the price of everything.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
78 cents.
I'm 100% turning into that. I
Yeah.
hate that I'm turning into that, but I am 100% turning into that guy. And I'm also the guy that I make it about 2 aisles in the grocery store now before I start having an aneurysm. And I'm just like, there's no way. Like, I don't even eat cereal anymore. And I'm like, $8 for Rice Krispies? Who's buying this?
You know what my opinion on this video is? I think it's just an excuse for all the brokies out there to be like, I got to do all this to get all that. Just go and be rich, all right? Just go make a lot of money. Because, look, do you listen to the president and the government and the news? It's good out here, guys.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Water's warm.
Just go and go be rich. It's just for like losers just keeping themselves down, making excuses.
Which
That's
is
how I see
clearly
it.
the people we're talking to in the audience, not us, obviously. Like we can obviously afford whatever we want, whatever we want. But for the poor people listening to this, and what we empathize with you is what we're saying. And
Yeah,
definitely
I was being facetious, but those poor brokes won't know what that word means.
Dude, it's yeah. So doubling down off that clip, though, if you thought that clip was scary,
We got a Gerard double right here.
a daily double. If you like that clip, you're gonna love this next one.
Hit it.
Please.
Do you ever date a guy that made 200K?
Like a year?
Yeah.
No, what the?
Are you serious? You don't think 200K is a lot?
No. I want a guy that makes 200K a month.
Okay, I mean, yeah, that's pretty good.
Would you?
I mean, like, 200K is like a lot of money. Like, my dad makes 200K.
But like that's like your hardworking dad. Like we live in a whole different generation.
That's true. It's easy to make money now.
Yeah.
Clearly. Look how much money we have and what do we do?
Yeah, I want a guy that makes more money than me. Like what?
Yeah.
Preach, mama.
I hate them so much.
So,
But that's like your cute little idiot hardworking dad.
would you? I love the way that she posed the question. Like, would you ever date a guy who made 200K? Like, it's like, would
She's
you
like,
ever,
what, a year?
Would
Or
you
like
ever,
a month?
would you ever
Like,
date a
what?
homeless guy? Like, what?
Yeah.
And she was like, ew, no. And I immediately, the rage that built up inside of me, and I'm like, I could just feel like a drum beat in the back of my head. I could feel like Cobra Tate's voice taking over. Like I can feel it. And it's like these women deserve less,
But
not more.
Going with these 2 clips, it is like they keep moving the kind of the goalpost further away. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there was a time, like you talked about in the first one, where $80,000 was a good life. You know what I mean? And kind of even in our life, I feel like if you're making over 100 G's, like you're doing okay.
You're barely getting by though at 100.
Now you're not.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time in our lives when that was cool.
Yeah.
Right?
I made over 100
Where it
G's
was a
last
lot,
year. I'm
yeah.
renting.
Yeah, where it's like I'm doing well. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
of course.
it's but I wanted to believe that they were joking. I wanted to believe that it was a joke. They weren't joking.
They're not trolling.
No, I feel like they probably are trolling a little bit,
Well,
like they're going along with it.
it
But
is-
they're also not. And that was kind of like the crazy.
Nah,
part.
they're not. One, they're flexing on their money, but they're also like the way she kind of poses. Like, wouldn't you rather a guy who makes $200 a month?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well, obviously.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what I mean. It's easy to say yes. Like, wouldn't you rather like have like just like a normal girl, like the hottest girl ever? Like, oh well, I guess you know what I mean, like.
But
The
then,
latter.
but then they get upset when that guy who makes over $200,000 a month gets tired of them after 3 years and wants to, like it's like the Maybach, man. You got the 2024, you turn it back, you turn it back in for
Well, it's also
2026 when the
even
new one comes out.
even if that's not necessarily the case, because there's like plenty of dudes that are like monogamous that make that kind of money and like aren't constantly trading in,
Yeah,
but they're
nerds.
they're not available. Like, what do you think that most people have to do to make that kind of money? They are working their asses off. They're traveling a ton. Like, they're not taking you to dinner or watching movies on the sofa or making you breakfast. Like, they're not doing any of that shit. They're not making all of their kids' games or rehearsals. So it's like everything's a trade-off. So yeah, sure, you have a guy that makes a ton of money, but you don't have someone that you're sharing a life with, more than likely.
Facts.
I just think we're slowly, it's gonna happen very, very slowly, and then it's gonna happen all at once. When you get middle class dudes that feel like they can't really compete or get ahead, the whole point of America has always been what?
What?
I don't know. I thought I knew where you were going with this.
So the type of guy that would that maybe had that 1% Columbine gene in him is gonna grow up to be 30, and it's more Tyler Durden than Columbine. You know?
Damn near the same thing.
Damn near the same thing.
I was right on with you, boy. I was right with you.
Because look, if what's the old African proverb, Christian? If you can look this up, it's the old African proverb. If there's anything I know, it's African proverbs.
Right.
And it's the old African proverb goes something to the effect of, when young men aren't allowed to sit by the fire, they'll burn the village down just to feel the warmth. Right? And that's kind of,
I think that's it.
I think what we're getting towards is a guy that's in love with that girl or whatever, and has done everything the right way, and he grew up and he went to college and he took on the debt and he got the job he never really wanted to begin with, and he does the commute he doesn't want to do to go to the job he doesn't want to be at, pays the taxes that he feels don't benefit him at all, does everything the right way, sacrifice, and at the end of it, the payoff isn't there. Can't afford a house, can't get the woman that he wants, can't raise the family that he wants to raise. He's doing his part, society isn't giving back. Well, you're going to have people opt out. And when people opt out, authority's going to say, no, tax slave, get your ass back here. You better work. And that's where this shit's going to get real squirrely. Real squirrely, I think. But also, maybe I'm just, huh? That shit's going to get squirrely?
No, you got the proverb correct.
What's the actual proverb? What is it? Yeah, it's like the person that's not allowed, that's not invited. Maybe the way I heard it was the child that's not invited to sit by the fire will burn the village down to feel the warmth.
Yeah,
you know, and there's something to that, man. You know, and it's like, you know, I sit here going like, okay, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Let's say, hypothetically, if we were to give them any advice, make sure you're burning the bad guys. If you're going to go ahead and throw your fucking life away for some shit like that, make sure you're not hurting the innocents.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say who's who.
Yeah. But most 99% of people are just good people, though. 99%. And most of the bad people.
And that's why you need to, if that's going to be your task.
Yeah.
You want to try and be Batman?
They all come from the same place anyway.
Go make sure you do your homework.
And what is that place, Candice?
What? You guys just lost me with Batman and vigilantes and 1%.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, what are you going to do? You're not going to burn down the CIA. They're the ones doing all this shit. Like, you want to go down some deep rabbit holes. Look at, like, the Las
You think the
Vegas.
CIA invented OnlyFans?
Ooh. Ooh. What?
I think OnlyFans.
I have not heard that one, but go on.
No, I'm asking. It was a question.
Wow. No. But wait a minute.
But you want it to be true so
I
bad?
do. Wow. Never even thought of it.
Just to create more low testosterone men that are spending all of their life energy on these e-girls.
Wow.
Disrupting the financial system.
Wow. Wow. Destroying the nuclear family. Wow. You heard it here first, guys. Israel created OnlyFans. Oh, I'm in the CIA. Those are definitely different things. Those are totally different things. Definitely different things.
Oh my God, I lost my mic. It's fine. Well, speaking of how awesome women are and turning the world upside down, imagine if women ran the world.
Thank you so much for coming today. This is our first World Summit since the revolution, where we ascended to power, replacing our male counterparts. It's been a busy few years. Yeah?
To say the least.
What's on the agenda?
Yes, first of all, the economy.
Well, actually, everything's great here. Yep, us too. We're cool.
Us too. Same here. Jill?
Yep, all good here, no problems.
Great. Okay, environment. Is anyone having any environmental problems, anyone?
No.
No.
None.
Ditto.
And what about conflict, social justice, any war, any hardship, conflict in their continents?
No, we just talk it out these days.
Yeah, we find it's very helpful to write things down and then sleep on it, see if we feel the same way the next day.
That's a great idea. Yeah, us too. There was some conflict with my California and Jill's old South America, and then we just realized we were angry at ourselves, weren't we?
I mean, I was projecting all my shit onto this one. And then I realized it was just my stuff onto her, so I'm so happy that we're cool now.
Yes, very cool.
Well, I think that's it, ladies. Everything seems to be in order. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't believe that this summit used to take days.
Anyone want to grab some rings?
What I think is so crazy is how easy it is to debunk so much of that, and just how arrogant you are to think that your entire sex is just the solution to all problems in the entire world. So, one, if we're talking about climate change and like what is good for the planet, one of the worst things for the planet is actually fashion, and fast fashion. Who do you think consumes the most of that?
Gays.
Women.
Oh.
Women and the gays.
That's right.
So we're to pretend that it's straight white men that are the problem with the climate change? Like,
Yeah.
no, we actively participate in a lot of that by all of your Shein purchases. And then they're like, oh, well, we are just going to talk it out, and I'm just so aware that I'm the problem in this. Like, all the men listening, how accurate is that for your relationship with women?
Yeah.
Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. And
No,
then,
I was just going to say, I'm really happy to hear where you're going with this, because I was going to turn to you, Candice, what the fuck is that? Like, I was going to say, did you think they were making good points? But I'm so happy that is where you're at with it.
Yeah.
I got too used to us cheerleading it, so love what you're doing.
No.
Here. Keep rocking.
Let her cook!
Let her cook.
I'm trying to cook here. No, and then the other thing is that they're so quick to forgiveness and they get over things and then the relationship is mended. That's actually a male trait. So the thing that with men that is like so cool is that you guys can get into a fight and it's like a quick fisticuffs.
Quick scrap.
And you guys are good. There's no
closer
resentment.
than
You're not
before.
right. You're not holding on to it. If a girl ever hit another girl, that is gonna go to like the grave with most women.
Yeah, I forget who it was, but the differentiator in mentalities from the masculine to the feminine, because there's obviously some, male Democrats specifically who carry many feminine traits and shit, and the difference is when there's conflict in the masculine, there needs to be conflict resolution. We can't sit in conflict forever. Like, all right, bro, we either got to talk this out or we got to scrap it out or we got to go our separate ways, because we can't maintain this constant level of conflict, where meanwhile women seem to be almost comfortable in a certain degree of constant conflict. Mm-hmm. They can sit there and not talk to each other.
Yeah, silent treatment.
Silent treatment to
whatever.
death.
Or passive aggressive.
Massively passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this idea that women are great on the economy. Okay. Cool. Yeah, because it's definitely the straight men who are sitting here going, spend! Use the credit card, put it on the card. What do you want? Free lunches for every kid in the world? Go for it, whatever, who cares?
And most women, too, will tell you how hard it is to even, maintain female friendships. Like, jealousy happens, animosity happens, competition happens, and there is no solution because we don't usually fight, so all we do is reputation damage. So the solution isn't, all men or all women. It's supposed to be partnership, and, any crazy woman that is it just needs to be all female, you are the problem.
You make such a great point, because the most unrealistic part of that whole clip is that a group of women could just get along for a whole hour. There's a meme that says when men write women and then when women write women, and it's like so funny, man. Like when men write women, they're like breaking things down, and they're, it's Wonder Woman, she's incredible, she can do all things, she's a loving mother, and she's a badass. And when women write women, it's like, you go girl, wow, the black woman is so smart, twerk twerk twerk. And it's the same shit. It's like, is there like are there any problems? Nope, women took over, there's no problems. It's like, wow, this is the fucking pinnacle of comedy here. They're female comedians, for whatever reason, they're very, and I'm gonna get killed for it, but I don't give a shit.
We know.
It's just the truth. You know what they are? They're very rage filled. They're very spiteful and angry people. Where a lot of other comedians tend to be they're kind of like there's fun in their funny. It's more playful,
Did you see any of Hannah Brenner's stuff? I think she did a Netflix special. I liked the part, I didn't watch it, I just saw the clip, but she's like, if you're trying to get an older man, all you have to do is go into the pharmacy section and put some pills in your hand and start going. And I was dying. Here, come on.
Here, little sugar daddy.
That was good.
I mean, doesn't that kind of make sense though? I mean, going back to the beginning of this with the girls in front, like, do you want a guy that makes $200,000? Those girls anger me right now, but I feel like 20 years from now, I'll probably be like, whatever you want, babe. I can feel my patience and my willingness to fight lowering every day. My patience goes up and my willingness to fight back goes down with every day. And I feel like for a 25-year-old girl, I'll be the right guy for her at 65. I'll just check out and be like, whatever, go do whatever you want to do.
It makes me think of that opening sign in the Shabuzi song where he's like, my baby want a Birkin. She's been telling me all night long.
How's that go?
And I was just
no, we're not doing that.
That's the only one you get. But
my baby wants a Birkin.
But it's insane because it's talking about this younger group of girls, right? And they have this delusional idea of what things cost. And then you're going to make your dude feel lesser than or like shit because he can't get on a waiting list for 2 years and then buy you a $300,000 purse. That is insane.
It's a $300,000 purse?
Oh, yeah. And that's assuming you get the call. So you get on this list and you might get on the list. You usually have to know someone, and then this wait list is years long, and then I don't know how they select you or if they just kind of have to work their way down the list, but eventually you get a call, and you can go into the store, and then you get the privilege and honor of buying said six-figure purse. But you cannot just go in and buy a bag. It doesn't. That's not how you do it.
Bag worth $3. Does it come with a drone?
It's just a purse.
Does it come with?
It's hand-stitched. Takes a long time to make, and there's only so many.
$300,000 for a purse?
I think some of the cheaper ones are like $80,000.
Baby, you've never seen these purses before.
No, I don't even like them, but and they're going to say, you don't like it because you're so poor you can't afford it. Yes, true, but I don't like the bag.
You can't afford it.
Well, yeah, there's this China set. I found this website. It was in New York City, and I was just looking at teapots because I heard the brand mentioned. I was like, I wonder what this brand is. It was a $100,000 teapot. And I was just like, I'm so poor. There's people that spend this on a fucking teapot.
Cut this out of the podcast. We should buy about 3 or 4 of them bags, right? And then when people want them immediately, we give it at a upcharge rate.
Okay. Or, just hear me out here. We find the people that are on a waiting list for a $300,000.
Rob them?
And we beat them. With our bare hands.
No,
take their resources from them because they allocate them poorly.
No. People that you can always scale that down, and that's a problem too, is when people get crazy jealous and they're like, you shouldn't be going and having a yacht that's $120 million while there's someone else that
fighting
can't.
Over those Tickle Me Elmos?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all subjective. Yeah, it's all subjective.
Ron Paul has a great saying, though, about Bernie Sanders. He said the problem with communism is that they identify the problems correctly. They just offer worse solutions. Like they identify somebody spending $300,000 for a purse as a problem. But also at the same time, like you said, it's not my money. I guess.
You're like, yet.
But also at the same time, like, it's the audacity. Like, but also, like, people aren't that stupid. You got to feel like this is money laundering or something at some level, right? Like,
Well, it'll hold its value.
yeah.
Yeah.
I need to know what $300,000 in a purse is.
You want
Do
to
wear that out?
Yeah.
You wear
If
it
you
out?
if you go to Monaco, you'll see these women with bags that are easily 6 figures, and they'll put them on the ground while they're eating.
Dude, you know,
It's bonkers.
This reminds me of we were out to eat lunch with this ex-mobster, and he was talking about they pulled off this heist of all this like really expensive artwork, and they supposedly had like this millions of dollars of artwork that they had stolen. And they tried for like 6 months to find somebody to buy it. They couldn't buy it. He ended up giving it away as like Christmas presents, these $1 million pieces of art, because they couldn't find anybody that would buy it at all. So it just got like millions of dollars to like very,
Subjective,
very
kinda.
correct, very specific people.
Christian, I'm going to send you a screenshot of a purse that's $450,000 so that Gerard can see this purse.
I bet it's not look like a regular ass purse.
It's the audacity of it that matters most, right? Like you just make like a pretty decent piece of jewelry or fashion accessory.
Jewelry makes sense because you're talking like precious metals, precious gems, right? And then this is, yeah, it might be gator or something, but like I know people that wrestle gators down here, so I could be like, hey, get me one of those and we'll make a bag for a couple $100.
You want a gator? I can get you a gator.
I don't want a gator,
I got
but
a
I'm
gator
saying
guy.
like it's very.
You got a gator guy.
I got a gator guy.
You got a gator guy.
I got a gator guy.
I
Get
didn't
you a
know
gator.
had a gator guy.
Whenever you want to get a gator, I get a gator for you. I got a gator guy.
So maybe that's like your next business, some gator bags.
Gator guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know a gator guy.
You got a gator guy?
Jill's.
Huh?
Jill's a gator guy.
Jill's is a gator guy?
Yeah, are we just like talking or are we doing a podcast?
I don't know. I got a
Really
gator guy.
sure.
Oh, wait, I'm stalling for the bag.
Yeah, he put it up.
You put it up?
It's a Birkin by Hermes.
Hermes.
Hermes, you broke
Hermes,
bitch.
not Hermes. Come on. It's like
So there are. It says
when
that.
the rappers call it Maybach. It's a Maybach, you
It's-
troglodyte.
So it is crocodile skin that's dyed. It's a very unique color. It has 18 karat white gold hardware, and that is studded with diamonds. It has 68 grams of white gold and 40 white round diamonds of almost 2 carats on the bag.
Don, cut out all
200
the purse talk.
200 diamonds. So it almost has over 8 carats of diamonds on it, but that's still not $450,000.
Well, the good thing is in 1990 that purse was $17. So there's that.
So I got a clip about Michael Jordan talking about ego. I think, Gerard, you and I are going to relate to this, and I think Candice is going to have an alternate opinion on it. So I'm interested to see how this shakes out.
But if I feel that I've lost my step and other players who I used to dominate starts to pass me and dominate me, it's time for me to leave the game because psychologically I can't accept it.
What role does ego play in all this?
Ego's everything. Ego's a part of determination. If you don't have ego, you can't have a sense of determination to achieve. That's all a part of success. You cannot find a successful person in life who don't have an ego. You know, that's just a part of the whole scenario.
How big is your ego?
It's big, but it's controllable. I won't let anyone else feel it or sense it or feel threatened by it, because I am very sensitive to other people's thinking of myself and of my personality and of the way that I carry myself. So my ego would never people around me.
Have you missed out on anything?
Who's that?
Are you serious?
You're a big sports ball fan, huh? Yay, sports.
That's my Aquarius brother, Michael Jordan.
I mean, he's
Talking
got
like a true Aquarius right there.
sunglasses and a hat, and I feel like I didn't know he had like a list, but he's from Wilmington.
Yeah,
Yeah, shout out
North
to
Carolina. So I like that clip because I know we've debated ego before. Like I said, I think we're going to get into kind of a definition of ego conversation here. But I think having an ego, having belief in yourself, thinking, you're the man, to some degree, is necessary to aspire and achieve great things. I think when he's talking about him being sensitive and not wanting his ego to other people have to feel that, I think, one, that's speaking like a true Aquarius, but two, I think it's what an ego in check kind of means in the way that I think we look at it. But I believe that Candice is going to have a totally opposite opinion of this clip and of the necessity of ego.
Well, so the age-old adage with ego is it makes a terrible master, but it's a great servant. And I think most people say if you have a human incarnation, you have an ego. Like there's no such thing as an ego death, or even if you do and you're doing psychedelics, it's like for a moment, right? As long as you have a body, you have an ego. So I don't think there's anyone without it. Even if you have like the most Zen Buddhist monk, he still has one. The way that he operates with it is going to be very different than someone like Michael Jordan. I think that it is it's really tricky if you get into a place where you start to glorify it or use it as an excuse or like a means to get things done, because again, it's you can do the same thing multiple ways. So when I think egocentric, I think that that's not usually a leader. I think that tends to be someone that's like really selfish, someone that's really sensitive to opinion, right? Like I don't think it's necessary to be an elite anything. I think you can also do that from a different like intrinsic motivator versus like I'm trying to like achieve, compete, conquer. But that is also a super masculine. So I'm not supposed to be that. So my balance is going to be different than your guys' is, where I would say someone that's in their healthy feminine, it would be more connection or contribution. So I don't know. I think there's multiple ways that you can skin a cat. I think I would choose one that is like maybe a little bit of a higher intention or higher consciousness versus just like it's my ego and I just want all of the accolades and to be the best. And I think if he was doing it for like the purity of the sport, the love of the sport, he wouldn't say as soon as someone passes me, I'm out, because that's a sensitive man, right? Like you're fragile in that way versus you're doing something from like a more pure space.
What's
where
a
you
healthy
can.
ego?
A healthy ego is one that isn't steering the boat. And I think with a lot of the clips and interviews I've seen, I think that his ego has taken the wheel a lot of times.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, the semantics are important, right? I believe ego in this regard is being used.
Yeah, and are we talking, this isn't ego like the Freud ego?
Yeah, it's not.
Right, like there's a lot of different uses of the word ego.
Id, superego. This is synonymous with pride, let's say, right? Like the pride.
I would say.
And
that'd be my definition.
This is the age-old adage is pride comes before the fall. And I could say almost every great thing I've ever accomplished in my life has been driven by this pride and this it's not necessarily even pride in self. It can be pride in my family. It can be pride in my business. It's this thing that you're building. And I think that that's very powerful. And every self-destructive thing I've ever done in my life has been my inability to control that, and control the kind of fallout. I look at pride and ego like nuclear energy. I think if it's harnessed correctly,
control it.
It is the most powerful and productive thing on the planet. But if you're careless about how destructive it is,
you're Hitler.
It's radiation. Yeah. It'll kill you and it'll poison everything around you, right? And trying to make sure that you're checking that and making sure, being aware of how self-centered you can be and being aware of how things are prioritized. I have no problem with what he said. Like, look, I'll quit if I'm not the best, because once you're the best, it's hard to then not be the best. I get it. But also, when he did quit, what did he do? Came back. And he quit again. What did he do?
It's interesting, your radioactive metaphor for ego is kind of similar to Cus D'Amato's, the great boxing trainer's metaphor for fear. It's almost the same. He's like, fear is like fire. He's like, if you allow it to get out of control, it could burn you up. But if you harness it, it can cook your food. It could heat your house. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of a similar thing.
And then going back to what you said, which is very interesting about the masculine and the feminine, I forget the guy's name. Christian, maybe look it up. When somebody is going to be a saint, they basically have a trial. and there's a prosecutor and a defendant, and then the bishops and the archbishops of the Supreme Court of Christianity decide whether you're going to be a saint. And we look at Mother Teresa as the most pious woman of all time, and the person that argued against her becoming a saint was like, oh, she just did it for her own, she liked the attention. Nobody ever asked her to do this stuff. She did it, and yeah, she did great things for people, but she did it because she liked that
wanted
it
the
made her
accolades.
famous. She liked that, so that was his reason. Now, obviously, she's a saint now, so, he lost the trial, and maybe he didn't even necessarily believe what he was saying, although he did not like that she was an avid communist. That he actually didn't like about her. But
She also hated the
Playing
gays.
devil's advocate.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, she was a Christian, she was Catholic. So.
There's so many Christians and Catholics that don't hate the
Today.
gays. Yeah.
Today. But back when she, I mean, it's a mortal sin, So, I mean, technically, it's a mortal sin for all of us, sodomy.
Abomination.
So, but that's pride in that feminine as well, right? Like but also, who cares if you're doing good because?
Well, you shouldn't get sainthood.
Why? Who cares?
If you're doing it for the wrong
Yeah,
reasons?
yeah.
But how can someone say what their reasons are?
I think you can feel it.
I think the people like who are like the monks are kind of talking about on social media about how they have no ego. Then why are you on fucking camera?
Oh yeah, they have.
You know
Everyone
what I mean?
does.
Sure.
It's like you're bullshit.
Everyone does.
So if
bullshit.
Wait, but so if I donate to a charity because I get a tax write-off,
It's different.
Not a
think so?
saint.
For
You go
sure.
straight to hell.
I'm not saying it's bad, but you know what I mean? I'd rather the money go to a decent nonprofit than the government all day.
Yeah.
No argument there. But I think that there's a really big difference between, and I do this because we do a lot of philanthropy work, and there's some that we do because we're just like supporting our friends who own it, right? And there's not a particular like heartstring pulled. Like, yes, like the work is beautiful. And then other stuff, I'm just like brought to my knees by how important it is. And it's different. And I give money to both. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, but I would argue differently because I don't think motive matters. If motive matters, then that's all these people that have, you talked about the government, everything they've screwed up over the last 5, 10, 50, 100 years.
You have a mom that's feeding her kid, right? One is doing it because she has to. It is a basic obligation of being a parent, is making sure that your kid isn't malnourished. You give your kid food. Another one sees like the divine and like spiritual purpose of making a meal for your family. And it is like something she pours her entire soul into doing. And that is something that she's doing out of contribution and like ultimate love. They can be super different. You can have one mom throwing in the plate on the table. Here you go, kid, eat your food, right? She just like threw something in the microwave. And then you have one that it's like literally an expression of her love. They're the same thing, but they're very different because of the intent.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I just disagree. I think what matters is the action, not the motive. Because, again, then the idea is like, well, we just wanted to make a more fair and just society. Yeah, but you created breadlines. So your motive behind how you screwed up doesn't matter. It's that you screwed up. And to me, it's the same thing. Your motive behind how you provided doesn't really matter. It's that you provided, right? Like if you're in a loveless marriage and it's like, look, man, I'm a dutiful man. I married this woman. We had kids. I got to feed these kids. And, yeah, it's not ideal. But if you do the right thing and you raise your family and you feed your kids, it's, the motive behind it could be, well, I just didn't want people to say I was a deadbeat dad. But you fed your kids. So what's it really matter? Like, it's the action matters.
I don't know. Moving on to the next clip. We're spinning wheels.
Yep.
So the world has gone upside down since we have taken a break, and Biden has dropped out. This is just a quick little update, and then we'll see what you guys think about who's running the fucking country.
The president of the United States, everybody has essentially admitted, is too senile to run for president. Yet he's going to be president until January? We are in a proxy war with the biggest nuclear power in the history of the world, and we have another proxy war-ish type thing that looks to be devolving into a wider regional war in Israel, and we don't have a president. This is like the biggest scandal in the history of the Republic, and Kamala Harris is directly implicated in this. Like, she was one of the major people lying through her teeth that Joe Biden is sharp as a tack in private meetings. You pulling Joe Biden out was admitting that he's too senile to run for president.
Yes.
And yet you're not invoking the 25th Amendment. This is what it's for.
We're just admitting now that that we don't have an executive, that we don't need an executive, that we are governed by an unelected body of people whose names we don't know. But why is there no curiosity about who they is?
Yeah, well, that's a good question.
I mean, I can't answer that. I mean, I think most people assume Obama.
That is just astounding to me. So you have him drop out, and then there's that leak that was saying that basically Pelosi, Obama, and who was it, Schumer? One other
Keem Jeffries.
So they basically call him and they said, hey, we have unilateral decision, like you're stepping down. Or
we tried doing this the nice way.
Right. Or Kamala is going to invoke the 25th Amendment, so do the right thing. And it's like, if you actually believe that, then you have a duty to the people to actually make him leave. And then she's running off of like, I'm going to make the country better, but you've been in the office. It doesn't matter. You're VP. You still are supposed to have some kind of swing for the last 4 years. And you're in the office right now. Like, who's running the country? So if you're not doing it now, why are you going to do it if you get elected? It's just, none of it makes sense.
Has she been questioned on how she's stood up for him and defended him all this time? And then all of a sudden she's like, yeah, he's senile and has to step down.
As of today, we are recording Friday, August 16th, 2024. She has been the candidate in waiting for just a little over a month now.
Yeah.
She has not done one interview with the media.
Not done one interview. She's been letting the media just champion her.
Yeah. It just came out that the CIA blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. We all know that they did. We all knew. So essentially...
Yeah, I knew.
I'm going to try not to turn this into a Gerard versus Evil filibuster here, but very, very quickly. The Republic is dead. It's already over. We're rearranging chairs, but we've hit the iceberg miles ago.
Where? Where? When? And if Trump wins, is the Republic still dead?
I just don't see a path to victory for him.
So he's not gonna win.
I don't see a path to victory for him. I mean, look, if they're able to somehow, dude, our deep state has been engaging in
the alphabet deep state's gonna shut them down.
It's not just them. It's global. They're in cahoots, man. We have been under attack by the European elites for 20 years.
Klaus Schwab and them?
Sure, but also people we don't even know. Like the people whose names we know, like we know because they want us to know them. Mm-hmm. You know, like we know George Soros and Alex Soros. We know Open Border Society. We know Melania Gates. You know, like, but there's so many people we don't know. Nobody knows who Larry Fink is. Like nobody knows. Like they have found that the way to beat us is what made us great. It's our system. And our system has always been for sale. It's always been for sale. And then they realized, like, okay, we need to put a 30 to 50 year plan together. There's a great book called The 100-Year Marathon. And it's a plan that's in place in China to how to circumvent the United States. And they took it from Soviet Russia. There's a very famous checklist from I forget the name of the book, but it's like the 100 things that the Communist Party wants to do in infiltrating American society.
Right.
And like 85 of those things are just full red checks.
Is that the Naked Communist?
The Naked Communist, I believe it was. Yeah, I believe it was. So, like, dude, we are the enemy of the state. That's the hardest part about all this. We are the enemy of the state. Our federal government, who we don't know is in charge of, is essentially the executive branch of the United States government. Is now, it's a marketing firm for the deep state. They run marketing for our deep state, and our deep state is trying desperately, if they are either working with the globalists or they have been completely bought out or infiltrated by the globalists, and they're trying to bring in a global world order. And we are what's in the way of that. And it's very obvious that we are the enemy of the state at this point.
I heard at the end of the Cold War that the Russians thought that like they won, and they were like basically like whoever the Russian head guy was.
Gorbachev?
I thought it was Gorbachev, but I know he was supposed to tear down that wall, right?
Mr. Gorbachev.
Yeah, but I couldn't. So he said to our president, was like, your like great grandchildren will be like communists.
It was Khrushchev. Khrushchev said that.
All right, I didn't think Gorbachev.
So Khrushchev said that as like, we can look it up, but I think he said it to Kennedy. Or
I heard Tucker Carlson say that's what reminded me of it.
He said it. Khrushchev did say it, and he's like, you might win the Cold War, but you know the real war will be in the hearts and minds of your children, your grandchildren, and they will be communists. And it's a cult, man. It's a cult, and it doesn't make any sense.
Do you think Obama's a communist and he's the head of this?
So this is the thing. Actually, Dave Smith was just going back and forth with James Lindsay on Twitter today, and they were fighting with each other about, what's a real communist? Who's not a real communist? F you, no, screw you. And good old James. It does not matter whether they're communists or not, whether they actually believe in communists.
James Lindsay, he's great. He's one of my
Dave
best
Smith's my
internet.
boy. I like him.
He's like one of my best internet friends.
Really?
Yeah.
Very, very, very brilliant anti-communist.
Dave's my best internet friend. So.
Oh, well, we got beef. Let's get him. Let's get him together. We'll place bets.
Celebrity boxing. So to make a very long story short, it doesn't matter if they're communists or not. They have embraced communist tactics, and that's the worst part of it. Because the worst part of Marxism is that the ends justify the means.
You think Obama's is kind of the unofficial head of state? Like he was Biden's president, and he still is calling the shots for Biden?
He's one of them for sure.
Yeah,
he's one of them. I think that I don't think the deep state, the quote unquote, and the Democratic Party have any real use for our democracy anymore. I think that they think of the general public as idiots. I think Brexit shook the global elites awake, and then Trump was the last straw. And they're never going to let the populace have any say in what this, this ever again. They look at us like idiots. They look at us like a burden. Yeah. They do not for a second see themselves as serving us. They're supposed to be civil servants.
Right. Isn't that hilarious?
They are our ruling class. Look at the way they talk to us.
Right.
Look at how they handle. Look, when was the last time you were in D.C.? Everything has fences, walls, barbed wire around it.
Yeah,
it's
they're castles and moats.
This is exactly like we can't go into the manor of the lords and the ladies. This is the people's house. We pay for this shit.
Yeah,
but.
Well, when I get worried and I think that it's like too far to turn around or that all hope is gone, because obviously who's been running the country for the last four years after you see like the massive decline of this poor senile old man. One thing that was brought to my attention is like they wouldn't be fighting so hard though for that position if it meant nothing. Like they wouldn't be trying so hard to keep Trump out of the office if it meant nothing. So like there still is value there, even though I don't know. It seems to be diminishing, but like I think maybe with the right person there that isn't so easily bought, maybe it means something a little bit more.
Trump got shot 6 months ago.
Yeah, because no one wants to talk about it.
4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And we're just
going. They wiped that off the internet.
We're just going with that story. And Clay Higgins, who was a sheriff, wanted to do an investigation. The body was cremated. That just came out yesterday. Clay Higgins, his entire house was wiped clean.
Mm-hmm.
FBI wiped everything clean.
A lot of fishiness, man.
So we're just going with this. We're going to do the whole Kennedy thing again. We're going to wait 60 years before somebody goes, wait. So a 20-year-old goober with a bicycle and a step ladder.
It was goober, not gooner, Christian.
A bicycle and a step ladder beat the world's most advanced security detail.
There was a slope.
There was a slope. We killed Bin Laden 15 years ago with satellites from outer space. We knew exactly where he was in the dead of night.
Yeah, we got missiles that go into people's houses and through the doors.
But this guy's able to belly crawl for 2 whole minutes on a sloped roof. Yeah. And we're just going with that story. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess we got him.
Well, just like the mainstream media, we're moving on. Next clip.
Next clip.
You want to introduce this clip, Mickey?
Yep. All right, so for this next clip, we have an imposter, a dude pretending to be Kai Cenat, who's like a big streamer.
Is that right?
And he's getting people to do some wild shit.
Like and follow! Bro, this is a joke.
Okay, don't cry, just chill. Calm down. We're giving fans dares, so the crazier the dare you do, the more you get paid. The last girl, she chopped off some hair, she got paid 10K.
Okay.
Alright, so the first dare is 5K to pour milk on your head. Alright, now stay still and get sturdy.
I'm with your and I ran out of condoms. Thought of roll, no problem. Please give a stick cause you know that I got one. She gave me top just from the bottom. I gotta hit that, split that. She wanna bring a friend. I said I'm.
Get an egg, go fast, get an egg. Smash it on your head. Now say this. Just give me my money.
Just give me my money.
Do a push up. I bet drink toilet water. Again.
Again?
One more. Alright, come back. There are some evil people in this world. Yeah? Not everybody's a hero, not everybody's a nice guy. There are some villains out here. You feel me? And I happen to be one of them. It's a green screen.
What did it say at the end?
Shit was cold. I think he said he's like, not everybody's a good guy, not everybody's a hero, and this is a green screen, and like basically that was all bullshit.
So she thought she was gonna get
She was
paid.
making money.
How'd she get connected with him in the first place?
I don't know.
Okay.
He's pretending to be him.
Wait, so.
Oh no.
So did that black lady think that guy looked like the black
guy?
Did that black lady think all black people look the same? What's the actual guy look like?
I don't know.
Let's pull that up.
And he's known for doing that?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my god.
And this dude's just playing. I don't know.
Can we rob him?
Yeah, go for it. You know what's
Okay.
crazy with that is I was in like this Instagram comment battle, and I tried to stay out of there, but I was feeling feisty, so I went in, and this guy was like, what does it feel like to have let yourself be degraded, and like trying to shame me for all this stuff. And I'm like, I've never done anything that made me feel degraded, and that is so subjective. So one thing that's going to make
You've never done anything that made you feel degraded?
No, I don't think so.
I've eaten a 30-pack of White Castle.
I
I
know.
degraded by that.
I'd feel worse about that than anything that I've filmed. But my point is with this, like she's sitting there and just like jump how high, and that to me,
More personal agency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All my decisions I made.
Did you eat those burgers because of Harold and Kumar? Because that was their order.
That was predating.
They ate 30 burgers.
I wish I could blame it on trying to be like do the Harold and Kumar challenge. Nah, I was just a drunk fat guy in Jersey, buddy.
30.
So were they.
Yeah, but they're this big though. They're this big.
Yeah, but with the bun, isn't it like that?
Yeah, but at that point the bun's like so greasy, they just like kind of go down,
congeals.
man. Like there's no way you can eat White Castle without like eating 10 to begin with. I mean, right? I mean, like, is that like normal? Is like a 10 spot? For
I
the
think
White Castle?
anytime I've been, I've had one.
I have not had such violent hangovers in my life than from when me and my boys would get like White Castle. This was our thing, like after high school football, because it would be the only thing.
You had
like,
that bad of hangovers in high school?
After it might have been concussions. I don't know. It was after high school football. We were leading with our head a lot, but not college.
I feel like I just started getting hangovers.
Yeah, first time I started getting real hangovers was college. There was this stuff that we were doing called booth juice. Did you guys do booth juice?
We did jungle juice.
I know what you're talking about, dude.
Booth
I remember
juice is
being
jungle
in
juice with ecstasy crumbled up in it.
I remember being in college.
Good party.
Drinking,
we didn't realize we were
drinking
drugging
so
the
much
whole party,
tequila.
but, yeah.
Not remember how I got home, pissing my bed, waking up, being like, "Let's go to practice."
Ready to rock and roll?
Like good.
Really?
Like fine. Yeah. Now like I have a couple beers, I'm like, I'm out of commission.
You know, Nancy gave us those.
Getting old.
Not to give her a free shout out, but Nancy gave us those Fuller Health pills from Michaela. And
Like
those,
after party?
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
They work. Got to give
Yeah.
credit where it's due. You got to take 5 of them, so there's only like 3 dosages in the bottle. But then again, it's like How often do you need to take these, buddy?
Yeah.
You know, as I'm seeing the bottle dwindle down, I'm like, man, you gotta make some changes. What's going on here? It's what did the actual guy look like?
Can you pull the other guy up? I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it's hard because you could be like, maybe you just cut his hair.
Mama want Kai Cenat. We have Kai Cenat at home.
I don't understand why people like pranks. I know you like pranks. I just get violently angry at the screen. I just want to see these people get beat up, man. Like
the toilet water was too much.
It's a lot, right?
That's too much. Everything else you could kind of say, haha, gotcha, but that's way beyond.
Gerard's over here like, that was $26 worth of groceries on the floor.
Yes, exactly. I never see these people get theirs, man. You know? And this
one dude got shot.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
We'll have to pull that up in one of
Rejoice.
Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, man, like, we got to bring back like that, the righteous pirating and like, the Robin Hooding and stuff like that. It's just like, what is it? You get the, what do they say? What's the crazy Knights Templar Christians? What do they say over there? I have the authority to trample serpents. It's like, okay, whatever, man. If the world's gonna go to shit, I'd like to do some shitty shit too, man. I don't know.
I don't.
No.
No.
Why not?
Because I'm a
Candice are
good
like real
person.
good people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just real
like,
good people.
Yeah, we're just like.
So you wouldn't like to like be that guy's karma? You wouldn't like to be retribution for that guy?
No, because that's not enough.
Nah, I wouldn't mind smacking the shit out of him for doing that to that poor girl.
Yeah, Prank the Prankers, right? What was that old MTV show? I liked that show. Bully Beatdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Mayhem Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great show.
Some will tap out, some will get knocked out, and some will just punk out.
He's done. He's done.
A bully beatdown.
Great show.
I don't know why they haven't done a reinstallment of that.
Because it turned out like a lot of those bullies weren't really bullies, apparently.
They were just acting like that to get the... Because they made some money somewhere.
Yeah, or like the guy's like, this guy's bullying me. And the guy's like, how have I ever bullied you? Well, you never said hi to me. It's like,
Yeah, I don't think they would have got cast.
I didn't know you existed. I'm sorry, buddy. See, that's a bully. We go to school.
Yeah, but regardless, it's a good
3,000
show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so much reality TV that you know better than anyone. It's all BS.
Well, back then I didn't know though. Back then I thought it was I was
legit.
I didn't know the Oz was real. You know, I didn't know what was
That wasn't real. That wasn't real. That was scripted. That was on HBO. And
I didn't know the Wizard wasn't real.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz. I thought that you're talking about the show that
That's a really messed up show.
Messed me up as a kid. I watched that when I was way too young. I watched that shit when I was like single digits at my friend Phil's house.
I watched it when I was like 25 and it was too young.
Out of BC. Yeah. That mayhem over there. What was that actor?
Whoa, yeah. A lot of stuff.
Yeah. That was brutal. I mean, that was a brutal show, though.
Yeah.
Even like watching it back now, you're like, ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much.
Hostel 2 was like the first time I had to turn off something because it was too much.
I never saw it.
You never saw Hostel 2?
Nor Hostel 1.
Yeah, even the opening scene is like ridiculous.
Didn't the Bear Jew make those?
Yes, he did. Eli Roth.
He was the Bear Jew in Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, yeah. Teddy fucking ball game. No?
Knocks it out of the
I
fucking
saw
pack.
it so long ago. We just saw the new Guy Ritchie movie.
The Gentleman or The Covenant?
What was it?
Gentleman's good.
It wasn't The Gentleman. It was like The Ungentlemanly something. It just came out. It was actually really good.
Just came out?
No, it's a movie.
What's look that up, Christian? I like to stay up on Guy Ritchie.
Like-
I love Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels. I love Snatch.
It was
He
really
loves
good.
all shades of Quentin Tarantino. He likes Guy Ritchie, which is British Quentin Tarantino. He likes Martin Scorsese, who is Italian Quentin Tarantino.
It was like The Ungentle. Henry Cavill's in it.
Really?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Ooh.
It was really good.
Sounds right up my alley.
True story, too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
So was The Covenant. That was based on a true story.
Taking some Nazis out.
Really?
Killing Nazis?
Mm-hmm.
Killing Nazis. I'm in the business of killing Nazis.
I want
Business
100 Nazi
is
scalps.
Booming.
100 Nazi scalps.
I
I'll get my scalps.
I heard the deal you made with the brass there. End the war today. I'll take that deal. A damn good deal.
Damn good deal.
You make that deal, you the bitch. I'll make that deal. But I bet. Yeah, but I bet. Yeah. What are you doing? I made a deal for that man's life. I bet when you get to America, you're gonna take off that party little outfit, ain't you? Now that I can't abide.
Wiener schnitzing, sucking.
Well, that's it
outfit
for
off.
this week's episode of Canceled Weekly. It's been real, everyone. That's Gerard Michaels, Mickey Gall, and I'm Candice Horvath. We'll see you next week.
Arrivederci.